Oops, I was muted. Sorry. Anyway, very big welcome. I'm sorry for the delay having to keep you on the live loop, but here I am. The topic tonight is, of course, as the title says, a Polish town of 11,000. I'm going to butcher this name. Noah Deba has, which in just to give you some context, Poland has in few recent years has come with a very strong national legislation as well as local policies by the local authorities. There has been the Polish government has had really strong rhetoric on this. I won't go into too much politics here because I don't want to get slandered for saying for those who do not agree with me. However, in many points of view, shall we say, from Western democracy institutions, namely the European Union, has clearly opposed and declare and let the Polish government know that what they are pushing forward is absolutely appalling and horrendous. So since 2019, I believe, cities and towns in Poland have declared themselves as free of LGBT ideology, as if being LGBT is some sort of an opinion that you just can feel, somehow make it your opinion that you are queer. It just doesn't go like that. But now, as this article this news came out before my first stream regarding this subject on my channel. I believe it was in February that I first streamed about this subject. Let me. I just can't remember on the flow. Regardless, I went through something similar to this with Trans Atheist back in I think this was 7th of February. I went through the different kinds of approaches to LGBT plus in Europe. Then a week, and then March 8th, which a month ago, I went through the response from the European Union or the European Parliament. First, the news that the European Commission had released a public statement with regards to these anti-LGBT policies across Europe, namely Hungary and Poland. Um, Basically, this I just I'll put a disclaimer. This episode of Monday News will contain mentions of trans and homophobia, possibly mental health issues, and possible loss of life due to self-harm caused by homophobia or transphobia. So if you're sensitive to these topics, please stop watching right now and move on to some other video of mine, such as the Brussels Out Now with Equality Plan. This wonderful stream was provided to you by my wonderful guest, Susanna, and myself. We had a wonderful discussion. And okay, we have a comment from Twitch. Okay, that's an interesting. I will not take that comment on the screen. I'm sorry, but it's something I won't want to show on my channel. Regardless, and then going forward, then with the help of Susanna, I went through the press release and the plan from the European Commission. Then that would have been March 8th with Susanna. Then I went on Monday News 3 weeks ago, on March 15th. Now this stream is brought to you by yours truly and my lovely partner with who was on the stream on my stream yesterday evening. Go check it out. It's a Sunday special. Now this is the one that I mean. It's there. I discussed the new sort of declaration from the European Parliament, whereby the European Parliament now declared itself a LGBT IQ freedom zone, not free zone. Is yeah. Anyway, it's now declared by the European Parliament that the European Union is now a freedom zone for us. Then that's it, and until now. Now this article that came to my attention I was building up to this. This is before the very first stream, the live show that I with Trans Atheist, with whom we took Europe as a whole. But now, on the 28th of January of this year, shall I put you up with this? This is from Pink News, that they actually, in this town of Nova Deba, and a town of 11,000, they withdrew this anti-LGBT plus declaration, uh, which this was kind of, shall I say, surprising, surprising to me, really. I mean, um, it's because they've been banging on. It's probably the fact that I haven't heard of this piece of information is because it has drowned under the has been thrown under the bus by the uh, avalanche of information uh, with regards to all the um, negative news with regards to all these LGBT free zones being published, and Hungary is another one, another country where they've got quite tough nut to crack with. There is a guy named Bartosz Stasevsky, which is here by Pink News, titled LGBT plus campaigner, who pointed this one out. And there is, I want to show you something, because there are actual signs that they declare these cities. If you excuse me for, yes, here. I mean, can you believe this? Can you believe this shit? This is in 2019, I think, where Noah Deba says, well, you can read it there, you know? This is just horrendous. I mean, how is it that they actually print a fucking street sign? And pardon me my language. So it came to me as a surprise that with the votes they voted on it. The votes, I think, were out of 15 councillors, 10 voted in favor of withdrawal. Sorry, difficult word. One abstained and one remainder did not participate. It's really confusing as to why you would actually first of all come up with this, and then with three thirds vote to get out of this, get out of jail free card, and then I wonder if these people, these 10 councillors, were in office at when Noah Deba joined or declared itself to be an LGBT free zone. I wonder if that really is the case, because I'd be interested to know. Please, if someone has links or has any connections to these 10 people, and even if they don't speak English or any other language that I speak, if we don't have a common language, get an interpreter. I would love to know. I just love to know if to get me those of the 10 who were councillors in summer of in late 2019. I want to talk to these people and why in the first place they chose to why in fact they chose to vote yes to the quote unquote free zone, and then year and a half later vote okay, screw this, we're out. No, I'm really curious to know as to what went through and I would like to note that is the this is an unprecedented case in the sense that this is the first of a kind because this has never happened before. I mean, coming backpedaling from this situation, which is kind of strange. And here we have the article. Let me get it on the screen. And yes, these news were first reported by this Bartosz Stasevsky. He was celebrating the fact that Nova Deba had withdrawn from what he calls a disgusting resolution. Yes, this decision that they went into, or this declaration this town went into in 2019, is a disgusting resolution. And here the head of the council suggested that the resolution has been misunderstood and exploited to harm Nova Deba's reputation. It seems, he says here, he or she says here, she says, it seems that the council's intentions have been misunderstood. We cannot allow anyone to use this issue against our municipality. We cannot allow anyone to tarnish our image by exploiting this declaration. Mr., Miss, or Mrs. Degtyarenko of PIS. I would like to remind you that by going into this declaration, you yourself tarnished the reputation and image of your town. You yourself tarnished the image, whatever image Nova Deba happened to have prior to this declaration in 2019, which is kind of baffling because Damian Degtyarenko cannot see the hypocrisy, the double standard here. It's not as he just I cannot understand why he cannot see that this declaration didn't it wasn't used against you. You did it yourself. This declaration. Okay, yes, this declaration did use itself against your municipality, Damian Degtyarenko. It was it was an issue that was against your municipality, and it was used to tarnish the image, tarnish your image, and it was used and exploited against you, but not the people you think. Not the this declaration was used against you by yourself. The city council used this declaration again. They themselves used it against they themselves tarnished the reputation of the city or municipality. They tarnished their own reputation by going into this horrible declaration. And hello, Matmati. Hello, good evening, or whatever time of the day it is for you. I hope you are doing absolutely fantastic today. So, moving on. Sorry, there we go. This was the first of the year that they for this 2021, and last year two other, Krasnik and Switnik, they voted against repealing them. Yeah, so this year was the first vote in any case. In as it says here, this is, by the way, this is from a news site, Notes from Poland. So if my viewers want, I can provide the links in the description box below the YouTube live stream. However, in some cases, as it goes to say here, in some cases, Polish courts have declared anti-LGBT resolutions to be a violation of the constitution, though others have rejected such arguments. Well, here we go. It's from the government itself. I would assume that these Polish courts here mentioned here are the official legal system. I would really at least hope so. But here there are the Polish government, which has been, as many know, had been quite vocal, shall we say, with regards to these anti-LGBT ideology, whatever things. This LGBT ideology, as if being gay is an ideology, which it isn't. Anyway, the Polish government has pledged to support these municipalities losing funding due to anti-LGBT declarations, which brings me to, where do I have it? Yes, here we have it. Here, okay. Excuse me. So, Polish region, this Podkarpacie, so I butchered that name. Sorry. When those councillors voted for a resolution to quote unquote resist the promotion of LGBT ideology. It's they lost 1.65 million euros in European heritage grants. That's a decent pile of money. That's a really, really decent pile of money. For it's is it really promoting your the ideology you're talking about? These government officials or these councillors, the ideology the ideology there is not LGBT or whatever you want to call it. No, it's their own ideology, to they've somehow made up in their minds some imaginary threat of some queer people coming to their town, and is an imaginary threat. It's not that when it comes to these councillors, in a country like Poland, I bet your ass that all these are men. They're middle-aged or past middle or older men. So what they are afraid? What are they afraid of? So what are they afraid of so much that they in their minds they close off the city or the municipality or whatever? No matter if it's the whole country, I don't care. They close off a geographical area from a certain group of people. These people are the LGBTQ plus people. What are these middle-aged guys or even older men so afraid of? It's I think one small town men at work. I mean, are they afraid that all the dice will come to town and fuck their wives, huh? Or I heard one good point or what was used to describe homophobia. The fear that men will do the same to you as you do to women. So, if they are afraid that, yeah, there you go. Is that what it is? I don't know. It could be that, and something else. Could be religion. Poland is a predominantly Catholic country. We know one pope came from there. Who knows? But it's still really, really, shall we say, saddening to see that stuff like this still happens in 2020, 2021, and even in the past few years. So here we are. This is from the art newspaper, where they wrote the story, or the article rather, that after it says, as follows. After declaring itself one of more than 100 quote unquote LGBT free zones in Poland, the region of Podkarpaty has apparently lost 1.65 million in European heritage funding. This area at the foot of Subcarpathian Mountain is a winter holiday destination apparently, and it's according to an activist, this Bart Staszewski, the grant says that the grant, which was earmarked for the development of the quote-unquote Carpathian route that helps to explore, promote, and protect the richness of cultural and natural heritage of that particular region, was withdrawn last September. But apparently it came to light only much later, because it was not until then that the public was really told about this, or it was kept under the lid. Kept under the lid in the sense that it wasn't brought to public, because apparently the Polish government is somehow so embarrassed about this that they wouldn't want to admit to their own citizens that, hey guys, we screwed up. We lost close 1.65 million euros, which is approximately 8 million Polish zloty. So it's kind of sad that these kind of national heritage places need to be fall victim to some in a process that shouldn't be that is needless to begin with. From Pink News is also writing about this, and I'm really happy to see Pink News come onto this as well. But what is really worrying in a way, that as I mentioned earlier, that there has been over 100 places in Poland. It's really sad. I'll bring it up. As you can see there in red, you'll see, or in Poland, there we have Poland, and it's quite to the southeast. Is the southeast third, although there's some, for example, near Gdansk, up the north coast. But look at this map. I mean, it's a third of the entire country. It's saddening to see that it's. I knew it was bad. I knew the situation was bad, but it's still saddening to see that the map how extensive it has become. It's an epidemic. Not the lagerlurgy we got going on, but it's sort of a um, plague of mind. Really, the government just and the officials trying to play a mind game on their citizens, or trying to knock them down just because of their own personal incredulity. Their personal incredulity then getting gives them in their mind the sort of justification to knock everyone down and push push these LGBT plus people into living in absolute misery. In absolute misery. Doesn't the government? I mean, yeah, I won't go into too far, but I think the Polish government should remember what totalitarianism can lead to in their own country's history. But that was long ago. But I still on the map. Uh, there are green points or green areas on the map, as I understand it. Um, those seem to me those seem to be the sort of spots that have never gone into it or declared out of it since this case at hand right now. So I think there is light at the end of the tunnel eventually, because still the European Union, namely the European Parliament and the Commission, have stepped on this. Excuse me. So there have been. This is still ongoing news. As I take it, because the declaration and the declaration from the European Parliament, that is, the declaration that the European Union is an LGBTIQ freedom zone, that came after this, and I have high hopes. That this ongoing saga and the European Commission press release came after these two this news. So I have been reading up on some other news or following up certain other strings of information regarding this, or of stuff that might come up on my show, and they're most likely I would expect, since there has been all these new advancements, shall we say, in this field. I hope to see more. or more of this material on my channel. Who knows? But time will tell. But here in here, let me bring that up. Like so. This is quite poignant really. This last paragraph titled in LGBT people, Poland picked its new top enemy, and it goes on to say many EU leaders have grappled with how to handle Poland's dizzying spiral into homophobia, where Jarosław Kaczynski, the leader of the governing Law and Justice Party, has repeatedly positioned LGBT plus people as a corrosive, quote-unquote, corrosive threat to so-called traditional values. It's as always, due to reasons I cannot understand, it's always when it comes to opposing LGBT plus rights. It's always traditional values. What traditional values? Huh? Yes, it's Judeo-Christian values. Traditional values that have been it's those values that they are referring to, or at least some form of values that have been, or the variation thereof, rather. And it goes on to say, many EU leaders have, such attacks have been amplified by such attacks have been amplified further by a state media which has been by a state media which has been twisted into a propaganda arm of the government, as well as by Catholic clergy leaders and the country's president, Andrzej Duda. Indeed, Duda and Kaczynski's party election campaigns were both bitter displays in which support was sought by stirring disgust among voters, emboldening an increasing amount to commit acts of violence against LGBT plus people. Yeah. What? Let's have a moment at this. Stirring politicians, nationwide politicians, such as Jarosław Kaczynski, are rounding up to encouraging pretty somewhat directly and somewhat openly in his political campaign, encouraging pretty much openly to violent crimes against LGBT plus people. How much lower can you go? I mean, in your political campaign. I mean, yes, we all are entitled to our own personal opinions. I have my personal opinions, and you, my dear viewers, do as well. And I encourage you to exercise these, or not perhaps exercise, but to bring them out. Uh, for example, there's the live chat. You can bash me all, you can bash me all you want, shitty channel and stuff. But hey, I don't go as a I don't use my platform to get back to you. It's not what I'm supposed to do. I'm supposed to bring you quality content on you, quality YouTube content. Whether high quality YouTube content, if you think this my content is not high quality content, okay, please go ahead and tell me. But in a nationwide political rallies and political campaigns, you do not encourage to any kind of violence, let alone not to any minority or a nation or another nation. You do not encourage violence in a political campaign. Typically, if you do such things, you do in a civilized country you don't get elected, but apparently, or at least you shouldn't in a Western culture, but in Poland, a member state of the European Union, they still do stuff like this. It's like it's banishing away what you don't understand. Many people who are ignorant don't understand what it's all about, but don't understand what being gay or LGBT plus is. So therefore, people tend to fear what they don't understand, and they don't understand. They fear it, and they just want it gone. But what to a positive note, I did go through with this this topic, somewhat same topic, with of course I'll get it to you right now up on the screen. Oops, there. Yes, this topic here. EU declared LGBT Freedom Zone in response to Poland's LGBT Free Zones, which is, yeah, I like the sentiment. Even though it's a really big thing. I covered it with this in this live stream. Brussels now out with the equality plan. I went through the European Commission news outlets, or rather the what they had in their press release. Well, they had in their press release with regarding to this equality topic, and then I went through it with Katja, my partner. We went through the next one, the next topic, which is EU out with an LGBTIQ freedom zone, which is this, that the European Union is now, as declared by the Parliament, a freedom zone. Sorry, which is a really nice sentiment, and I truly hope that this will actually lead to something. This this European Parliament resolution. I hope so. But hey, I have given you all I have for today. So, I think it's time to say goodbye for tonight. So you have watched another episode of Monday News on Hades Corner. It's good night, but not goodbye. I wish to. It's the last day of Easter, at least here in Finland, and I wish to wish you a happy rest of the week, and I will see you on my channel on Friday evening, 9 p.m. UK time, with another episode of Friday Facts. And please check all the links in the description box down below. There will be a bunch of really fun stuff. There are playlists. There'll be season 1, season 2, and Friday Facts playlists, and there will be my email address. There will be links to my Discord servers. Yes, please join my Discord servers. There will be my channel server, Hades Corner, and the LGBT plus safe space server. Both are accessible to everyone. And I have wonderful moderators and admins who will, in my absence, take care of you and take good care of you and make you feel at home, as well as the other members of the server. We have, for example, art and photos channel there on the server, which is very active. And if you like arts and photography, just head that way. The links are in the description box down below. And it's time for me to say bye and see you on Friday.